It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. It is also the month of August and we are celebrating Greg's Rebirth 2.0. So we have shirts available in the store. The love is in the garden. Thank you all so much for your support and for all of the shirts that you've bought so far. Feels like a great big giant family. In Oceanside here, gosh, I am so happy we are not in Escondido or La Mesa or El Cajon because it is August and it's hot, but it's beautiful here in Oceanside. Yesterday, you know that I went to Hunter's Nursery in Spring Valley, that sweet little mom and pop. The reason I stopped there is because the client wants to get some star jasmine started on this fence line in the hopes of it growing up and creating some privacy from the street. So I went to get those. While there, I got these fantastic Kalanchoe tomentosas. I'm really happy with how beautiful and full those are. Hunter's is a small nursery and they don't have, you know, mad quantities of things, but what they do have is really special.
If you like houseplants, they got
and if you like houseplants, they've got lots of those. And just a lot of really interesting, fun things. So it's an inspirational place. I encourage you to check it out. These are the plants that were left over from our installation in Claremont at our son John's. So we'll be pulling those into this installation. Remember, this client did not want any cactus or anything too pokey because they have grandkids and, you know, it's kind of a tight squeeze. Greg is off buying more caps. There's at least 5,000 sprinkler heads in this yard. Also, over the 17 years that the client has owned this home, she has collected these beach pebbles one at a time from the ocean, which is just a block away, and they smell like seaweed, which I happen to like because that just reminds me of summer. Hannah's like grossed out and shaking her head, but
you're acting like you just grabbed that from the beach. That was like, these are muddy. Look, these are muddy rocks, folks.
they smell good. They'll smell it. It smells like the beach. It does. Okay, so, but then again, I might just be smelling the compost.
Yeah.
This is hot, guys. This hasn't really been composted that well. It's very pungent. We should probably even be wearing masks. Now, don't worry. We are not going to, this soil is not going to be pressed against the foundation of the house. We're going to work around the drains, making mounds. It's all going to be fine. But this is a really super exciting area of the garden because there's a lot of built-in architecture with these wonderful windows here. The clients have a lot to see looking out their kitchen. We're going to do, you know, things that are going to grow up, knit together, and just be spectacular to look at. Greg is also going to be running off, grabbing us some more boulders. We're doing a, 2 foot minus, 1.5 plus. These are, they look like Baja Cresta. He's going to be getting some pot rock, some honey quartz, some onyx, and just, mixing it up. We've spent the first about hour and a half this morning pulling off all of the river rocks the client has collected that I will be working with as a literal ribbon through the design when we're done. This is a 4-day project. This is day 1. Here's the client's little propagation area. So I will probably end up pulling these plants up and resetting them, so I can do more for her here. And Waterwise Botanicals has arrived with our plants for this installation. I will probably also be getting plants from Oasis, some smaller things, but we'll see how far we get. Tom Jesh pulled these bromeliads for me personally. They are so fun. I just love it when I can work bromeliads into a succulent installation because I think they're peas and carrots. So what you'll see here are a lot of my usual suspects because once again I wanted to keep it soft and I wanted to keep it texturally interesting. So I have a lot of crassula, a lot of aeonium, portulacaria, miliis, orgialis. I even found some variegated attenuata. I love this. I think this is possibly, no, it doesn't look like Cara stripe. It does look like a legit variegate. So these grow very slowly and tend to stay on the smaller side as opposed to the, traditional foxglove. Also, Aeonium Zwartkopf, which I don't usually use anymore because they go dormant so hard in the summer, but here in Oceanside, it just never gets hot. And these are going to be pulled into that side kind of shaded area. So you can see that they're, they're pretty active right now. They don't look particularly dormant. And that black rose, against so much of this green and copper, I think it's just going to be a really, really pretty complement. So, when we touch back in again today, hopefully we will have more boulders and maybe even some plants planted. So thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the journey over this 4 days with this coastal installation in Oceanside. So we are wrapping up day 1 of this 4-day project in Oceanside, and great progress was made today. Greg was able to cap all of the sprayers in this space. We're going to be running subterranean drip through here. He also brought in some more pot rocks like we used in the Coral Reef project, and those beautiful rubble, our Baja Cresta. Those will be used to shore up areas of our mounds. I want to make sure that there's no runoff and that no soil is present against the foundation of the house. We will be top dressing this with California Gold 3/8 and then running a ribbon of Joni's river rock that she's collected, which I guess beach rock, because she collected it at the beach, through. It'll be, absolutely stunning. We were really surprised at the amount of sun that these plants get here.
Sorry about the exposure.
Yeah, the exposure's a little rough, but if you look up, you can see that there's only about 6 feet separating the houses, so the sun just works its way through here throughout the day. It'll probably be quite shady in the winter, but in the summer, everything is going to get a delightful amount of sun. We got all of these foundations done today. Just so happy. Again, these are not rare plants. These are plants that are typically used, but we think we use them in atypical ways. Yeah. So with the idea being, again, maintenance once a year at the most, that these things will knit together beautifully over time and create more and more of a mosaic. We've got
20 different kinds of bromeliads.
Yeah, we have 20 different kinds of bromeliads from Tom. They're just absolutely beautiful. Greg will be running micro sprayers to accommodate those bromeliads. The Zwartkopf Aeonium should be really, really happy and stay somewhat non-dormant in this space where it stays so cool. I mean, like right now, there's just this beautiful breeze blowing through from the ocean. It's probably 20 degrees hotter inland. So I'm just so excited to watch these plants grow. But remember, one thing that you can do to give yourself really great instant gratification is to mound. And those mounds will be a lot more evident once we get the top dressing and the ribboning running through here. But we've got some pretty significant elevations. This is much lower than this grouping. And it just, I don't know, it just gives it that three-dimensional impact that is so rewarding. Did we talk about the windows? I feel like we did this morning. So happy about these windows that just break up this, what would be, really ugly wall. Now it looks pretty. And Mel's coming through. We have, a lot of plants, but we still have a lot of planting to do. And this has been a really accessible project. We have this alley. Nobody uses it, too. So we were able to stage all of our rocks and soils and plants out here, and we had great accessibility. Take a look. We're just moving the plants into the garage overnight. So easy. And I know, what you're thinking. Good Lord, what are you going to do with all those plants? We're going to plant them. That's what we're going to do. And I will probably need more. That is the nature of the beast when one is doing succulent tapestry work. So, thanks, Cully. Oh, and Daddy made some more room. Greg is the king of organization and making room. I mean, he can pack a truck like nobody's business. He can get more crap in a space than you would think ever possible. Gosh, what else? Please let me know in the comments the questions that you have regarding this beautiful coastal project. Thank you so much for tuning in, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for doing all that great stuff. This has been Laura with Team DFS in Oceanside in day 1 and your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.